What is market-based resource allocation? Have you ever wondered how resources like food, labor, and materials are distributed in an economy? The answer lies in a system called market-based resource allocation. This method relies on market forces such as supply, demand, and price signals to determine how resources are used. In this setup, buyers and sellers interact in competitive markets, guiding decisions about what to produce and how much to produce. Prices play a key role in this process. They act as indicators of scarcity and consumer preferences. When demand for a product rises, prices typically increase, signaling producers to create more of that product. Conversely, if demand falls, prices drop, prompting producers to scale back. This dynamic helps ensure that resources are allocated efficiently based on what people want and need. Now, let's look at how this concept fits into socialism. In a socialist context, market-based resource allocation can take a form known as market socialism. This model combines elements of socialism, such as social or cooperative ownership of the means of production, with market mechanisms. Unlike traditional capitalism, where private ownership is the norm, market socialism involves enterprises owned collectively by workers or cooperatives. In market socialism, the market still coordinates supply and demand. This means that prices reflected real economic conditions but are shaped to prevent exploitation and excessive inequality. The goal is to balance profit motives with social welfare. Profits generated by these enterprises are often reinvested or shared within the community rather than concentrated in private hands. Another important aspect of market socialism is ownership and control. Resources and enterprises are owned socially or cooperatively, which means that workers or the public have a say in production decisions. This contrasts sharply with capitalist systems, where ownership is typically private and concentrated among a few individuals. Regulatory policies and some planning elements may also be integrated into this system. These measures help address market failures and ensure that public welfare is prioritized. By doing so, market socialism aims to prevent outcomes that could harm society or lead to wealth concentration. In practical terms, market-based resource allocation in a socialist framework means that communities or workers democratically decide how resources are used. They do this within a market environment that signals needs and coordinates production. This approach seeks to combine the efficiency of markets with the equity goals of socialism, aiming to eliminate exploitation while maintaining economic dynamism. So, market-based resource allocation under socialism is not a pure free market system. It is a hybrid where social ownership and democratic control coexist with market mechanisms to allocate resources effectively and fairly. This model stands in contrast to both pure capitalism, which relies solely on private ownership and market forces, and traditional socialism, which emphasizes central planning without market involvement.